I feel like the more I ask for things, the more I have an obligation to return them. Like, so in the future, when I make a bunch of money, you know, I'll feel the obligation to return that favor to them because they helped me out. And I don't know, I just don't like feeling like I have IOUs, you know, under my belt that I have to give out to people. It's called the law of reciprocity. I think that's how you say it. When you give value for free and you don't ask for anything in return and you just give your value and you help people out, you will see that more opportunities will start to open up for you. Okay, because what happens when you do that is you're putting yourself out there, giving a name for yourself, and not out of, you know, lack of respect for who you are that you do it for free and you know that you feel that you're not worthy of being paid. It's that you want to see them win, you want to see these people win, you want to help these people out. And when you go out of your way to provide value, you will see that they feel that need now to then give back to you. And so that might come from a referral, it might come from, you know, just a gift, a helping hand. It could be anything, but people feel obligated to help back out and pay it forward if you've done something for them. When you're doing work for somebody, do it for free. Show that you're of value, show that you're good at what you do, and then who knows, maybe they'll feel ready to work with you in any field of life, right? But if you're doing everything and you're asking for a paycheck and you're just trying to hustle away and get those dollars, people see that and they feel that and they don't want to associate with that. Okay, so you need to put yourself out there and be giving. Be in a giving mindset and you will see more things will come in return to you. And part of that stems from first being grateful for what you have. I'm grateful for having a bed to sleep in and food on my plate. Okay, everything more than that is abundance for me. Plain and simple. I get to wake up, I'm healthy, I'm alive, I have energy, I'm in a beautiful environment. You know, it's tropical out here. I can control my own schedule. I can work when I want, and I'm not held down by anything, and I'm grateful for that. That to me is abundance, and everything more than that is abundance. Okay, so those are my basic needs. I know what I need to be happy, and everything more than that is just abundance. Okay, and so when you have that mindset and you develop that mindset of being grateful for where you're at, you'll see that you don't really have to be consistently in that hustle mindset. You can focus more on long-term growth and self-development and self-mastery instead of trying to prove yourself to everybody and scrape away at the crumbs. Okay, when you focus on yourself, you start developing yourself, start developing your skills and building from within, then you're gonna see the world will see your value, and then people will start paying you money for the value that you have. Okay, but the issue is people are trying to, you know, hustle away for a couple $100 here and there, but they have no actual skill set or value to provide to the world. I mean, I don't want to say it in a mean way, but you are practically worthless to the world based off what you can provide, aside from your time, okay? That's the reason why poor people are poor and rich people are rich. Okay, it's not because they know something that you don't and, you know, they're born into that. It's because they know that in order to make money, you have to provide value. You have to have some type of skill set. And the only skill set and the only value that poor people can provide is their time. Okay, so while you are slaving away 8 hours a day to do a meaningless task, that shows that the only value that you have to provide is your time and your mild, measly labor, right? Is working construction or working behind a desk, would you say that that's a skill set that you have to provide, or is that just your time and hard labor, right? If you want to actually start making money, you have to find high value skills. What's something that I can develop in myself and get good at so that way I can offer that service to people who are willing to pay? Okay, and that's the mindset that you have to be in if you want to start making money. So what you need to do in your life is ask yourself, what is holding you back? What is stopping you from going out there and actually developing these skills? Okay, because there's so much opportunity out there, but the issue is people get overwhelmed. They have these big goals, and I do this too. I set these major goals for myself, things that are, you know, beyond imaginable, and I put that on myself. And then I start to think about it, and I start to overthink about it, and I think about all the steps I have to take to get there. And instead of taking action on those steps, I don't do anything because I get overwhelmed. Okay, and that's what most people do. Most people get overwhelmed by their big goals and their dreams, and you tell yourself you're gonna do this, you're gonna make this much money, and then when you actually start looking at all the tasks that you have to do and what's needed of you, you get scared and overwhelmed, and you'd rather just start scrolling on your phone or doing something else instead of confronting it face to face. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, what's holding you back? Is it your phone? Is it your friends? Is it your environment? So you need to assess your current situation and say, well, if it's my phone, and if I'm spending 5 hours a day on my phone, what would that 5 hours do for my life? If I dedicated 5 hours a day of my life to learning a skill, to developing something, and even if you don't spend that full 5 hours, I mean, that's obviously a little extreme, but I know some of you guys are out there with 5 hours of screen time on your phone, right? And that's an issue, that's an addiction, that's holding you back. Or it could be, going out and partying with your friends, and then the next morning you're hungover and you can't do any work and you can't focus on what you have to do. That could be another reason. You need to look at your current life and your current situation and actually ask yourself, why am I not where I want to be? If I want to be in this position, why have I not already done it? Okay, and you need to work backwards. You need to break it down into small, manageable steps. You need to figure out, what's the easiest thing that I can do right now? What's the first step that I can do to actually start taking action on this? Because the small wins throughout your day and throughout your week and then your month, they all start to compound. And everything grows. When you go and do things, if you watch an educational YouTube video for 15 minutes and then you turn it off, it may have done so little for you, but it could have improved you by this much, okay? And then you could go out and read a book, and it gives you some great value, and now you improve this much. At first, you don't see what's actually happening and what's actually changing, but when you put yourself out there and you start compounding these wins, it's gonna start to compile, and you're gonna start to visualize it and see it, and you're gonna see that now you have made that progress. And when you look back to where you just started from, you're gonna see you've come so far already, because you focus on each step one after another instead of looking at the whole long-term vision. Okay, because it's good to have those long-term goals and those big goals, but I'm telling you right now, if you don't break it down into actual steps, then you're never gonna reach those. So ask yourself, what are you good at? What can you today start taking action on and seeing results and developing those skills to where you can then go provide value for somebody? And figure out what you're good at, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's photo design and you're designing logos. It could be anything. But figure out what fits with you and go out and start developing that skill set.